And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. We got both boys here, ready to go. Everybody's kind of on time. And sorry in advance for my super bright outfit here. Look like I should be directing construction somewhere. But we're glad to have everybody here from across this beautiful country of ours, Manitoba, Sask, Alberta, BC, all the way up to Newfoundland and beyond. So let's have a show tonight, fellas. We got the PGA, we got a bunch of golf chat, and we'll see you in exactly 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Joran Headley. As we always do, we'll send it up north, see what's going on with our boy and his club foot. How's it going, Reg? How you doing?
Good. Really good. Missed Gilbert Plains men's night started last night, so missed out on that. But yeah, all things considered, I'm doing good. The weather's changing. Been out in the yard, cut the grass in the booth the other day. The garden's in. I'm trying to be optimistic. I don't know. I don't know how things are going to go. I got my appointment next week, so I'll have some more info next week. Yeah, that's about it. Just playing the waiting game till that appointment. We had a fairly successful, I would say, tournament on the weekend. Second tournament coaching. We ended up losing in the finals on Sunday, we played all the way from Thursday to Sunday. It was pretty cool. I never got to play those extended season tournaments growing up. I shouldn't say I never got to. I don't know if I wanted to. I think by the time hockey was done, I was kind of done as well, but it's kind of a cool thing. Lots of different divisions there in Winnipeg. Lots of cool rinks. I've really only been to like two or three rinks maybe in Winnipeg, and there's a lot in Winnipeg that I had no idea even existed. We played in a couple this weekend that I'd never been to before. So it was cool. It was a cool weekend, honestly. We went to that WHL final on Friday night. Doesn't matter really what night it was. It was unbelievable. Whichever night, Saturday night it was. We went and watched, and it was the Ice against Seattle. Mm-hmm. Like there's got to be. There's for sure over 10, I think. Nobody fact check me on this, but I would say either 10 first rounders or are going to be picked in the first round this year. Like that's Savoy was top 10 last year. Geeky, that kid from the Jets was late round, but like so many first round picks, man. It was probably the fastest hockey I've seen for a long time. Because I mean, it's a WHL final too, right? So it's not just
right.
Like they're trying super hard. It was awesome. It was great to see. Good. Anyways, that's a little long winded. Get to you guys.
Send it over to our boy in Rossman. Jory, you just get back from hunting, or what were you doing?
Top of the evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I lost my voice. I think it's the smoke out here. It's seeping through the cracks in the doors and windows. Whew. She was bad this morning. The whole house smelled like smoke.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's wild, eh?
Yeah, so I mean, if there's never been a more important time to put a focus on climate change and doing everything that we can do to try to prevent forest fires like this from happening. The climate's changing fast, and so make sure.
Enough.
I was going to keep going until Reggie said something.
I knew you would.
Yeah, I kind of have a headache though, actually, from it. So hopefully this Corona helps. But no, not much up here. Rossman Lake is officially open for business. The pins are in. Shout out to Dwayne and the rest of the staff here at Rossman. The course looks tremendous. The tee boxes, the fairways, the greens, all mint. So I don't know what they did at the end of last season. And oddly enough, Ken, our buddy Ken from Portage, he made a comment a couple weeks ago about how everything is so green this year. And I don't know if it's something that the courses did in the fall, like a fertilizer type deal, because it seems like the last couple of years they've been a lot better than, say, 10 years ago.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you have any info on that or not?
No,
or
I think
anybody in the chat?
they're learning. I think there's a lot more available now. Resources available. I think
Resources.
they're all kind of The
Yeah,
internet will help that a lot. They'll be, and obviously those guys know what they're doing. Like the guy in Gilbert's a genius. He's had it figured out for a few years, but I think that obviously they figured something out in the last couple of years, because it seems like the winter kill has been very minimal, and it seemed like it always used to hit hard, right?
Mhm. Yep, that's what I mean. So I don't know what it is, but it's good. We're thankful for it.
Do you think that there's any way that it's funding related or no?
Like
Do you
more.
think the new stuff's more expensive, and of course they're making more money so they can afford to put more out? Or
I don't know
buy
if it'd
more
be
of
new
the expensive
equipment
stuff?
or not, but it could be more fertilizer that they didn't
Right,
have
that's what I
to.
mean. Like an expensive type of seed, maybe, instead of buying like the low line, like you're buying the high line of it. I don't know. Just a thought. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even in yards and stuff, it was like brown one day and green the next day. So I don't know if it's just a climate change thing or what the hell happened.
Boys,
Reggie's cheating. He's putting fertilizer in.
I put some heavy fertilizer and like winter food or whatever the hell that stuff is for the grass. My grass is unbelievably thick right now, and I love it.
Mm.
I'll cut it every second day of half. I like cutting the grass, so I'm gonna have a mint yard this year.
And are you leaving lines as you drag your foot around?
Oh yeah, just a little club dragon. It got pretty tough by the end actually, because the backyard slope, I was lagging pretty good by the end, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll finish my segment here. We had a really good weekend. We golfed. Mom was out here, mom and dad, and bridge, and we got some golf in for Mother's Day. So, one more shout out to Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We love you for everything that you do, have done, and for our existence, because we wouldn't be here without the women in the world and the moms. So,
Truth.
we're sponsorless for the show tonight, but I got my Silverstone hoodie on. Green one. So we'll do an unofficial sponsor by Silverstone. If you're tired of your current investment advisor, reach out to me, Silverstones. I work with New Outlook. We can put you into any type of investment, including Bitcoin, silver, gold, all the stuff outside the box. So that's the unofficial shout out sponsor tonight. And we're looking for sponsors. So we've had a few. If you're a small business owner in the area, we got a pretty focused audience here, so just reach out to us, and pretty reasonable rates, I must say. So with that, drums, I hear Luca in the background.
Can you hear him actually?
Just
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
it's okay.
perfect timing almost.
Yep, exactly. Just queued in. Still awake, so that's a good thing. 8:40, so 40 minutes past bedtime. Just a typical Drummond late nights. We had a good. It was a relatively quiet weekend here. I didn't get any more golf other than Thursday night men's league. Got together with Dal and Danny for a few cocktails on Saturday, and then just celebrated Mother's Day on Sunday. We had Liz here at the house, and then we went for brunch with my mom and grandma, and then we met up with her side and her mom for supper. So it was a big day on Sunday, but it was just a good weekend. Like you, Reg, I did some yard work too, just getting everything ready, getting Lucas set up outside, ready to rock for him. So he's impossible to get out of the sandbox and impossible to get inside without a club in his hand or you taking a ball. Like, and he's hitting balls now, like they're coming at you like chest high now.
Nice.
Getting dangerous. He's gonna start firing them at windows here, and
He's
also switched.
Ball?
Yeah, he's also switched to right-handed, so we got it all figured out.
Sweet.
How'd you make the switch?
He just did it himself.
Yeah, right.
No way.
Tell us how you actually did it.
I whispered in his ear at night, "You are right-handed."
You forced it on him.
Yeah.
Spoke it into existence.
Yes.
Bryce is in the chat tonight. I wonder where Bryce is tonight in this great.
He's in Dauphin.
Is he?
Texted me. Yeah.
Okay.
He
said we should get a beer sponsor, Obsolete Brewing. They won a few awards I saw on Instagram, and they aren't even open for business yet. So that's a pretty good indication of what's to come.
Hey.
Yeah, there's been some heavy talks. We'll keep that thought in mind. I think it's closer to a reality than than we think. But I had a cool idea actually, and I shouldn't talk about it too much on here, but I thought it'd be
Yeah.
cool if we could like
Safe
get
place.
drums, a couple beers, like start them on like the light end of what they make, and see if they can. It'd be like a claim to fame, like making drums a beer drinker. Like if they gave you a couple that they thought that you'd like, and just ease you into it, and you try them on the show and tell them what you think, and then all of a
Okay,
sudden you could be drinking beers. I think that'd be pretty funny.
I like that
I'm in.
idea.
Yeah,
100%.
You can make the
pretty cool.
transition.
Because Ryan actually, like, he listens to the show and watches the odd time and listens to it, and he said it'd be sick if you guys. I said like something like you should just be the beer sponsor for the show or something, which obviously we've been talking about for like 6 months already. But he said we don't make wine because he said that's all drums drink, so he knew that's all drums to drink. But well, I think
We'll
it'd
get
be cool
on
to
that
do something
too.
like that. But we gotta let them open up and get settled here first before we go start knocking on their door for money. So or beer.
I feel like you've been
in this
talking about
case.
them for 2 years. When are they opening?
I know because they had some slight delays because of equipment, but they actually just brewed their first batch, I believe, in one of the big, like those things that guy was swimming in Beer Fest. So
Okay.
we're starting to buzz here. I think it should be
Nice.
like any day. I'm actually going to be. I applied and got a job there this
Nice.
summer just to work as a bartender when I can sparingly. So didn't take. I applied. It didn't take a whole lot of convincing to hire, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. That's been like my dream job for a long time, so I'm gonna help out when I can there. I'm really excited to have it. Honestly, it's gonna be super cool. But
Let us know when your first shift is. Maybe we'll come do a live
yeah,
podcast from.
oh, that'd be
Officer
sweet. Actually, we'll have to do one there eventually. Even if I'm not working, we'll do one.
It'll
there.
be loud as pluck, but we'll make it work. Maybe we'll get you before she opens up there. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's get to the show here. We got Ches in the house. Ches, hopefully you're listening to a little bit later on. I got a shout out to you in my segment tonight. So anybody else in the chat, let us know where you're at, where you're watching from, and maybe who you're picking for the PGA. We're going to get to that here in a little while. We're going to do a draw for this little guy.
Matt, can I win?
This might be my favorite head cover we've ever made. One of them, anyways. I say that
It looks
quite a
good.
bit. This one's really sharp. So someone's going to win this tonight. What's that?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it. I was going to say somebody's going to win this tonight.
The cool thing about that is that's kind of like where the original, like we were talking about doing head covers, and that's kind of where the original kind of stemmed from, that we should do something to do with the buffalo. And now it's like that exact logo. I don't know. It's kind of cool to me.
The first head cover ever made is quite funny.
It's like a comedy club now, honestly.
I'm going to try to put it in a frame and get it on the wall somehow, like one of those shadow cases.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. It's so small.
Yeah, the buffalo is like this big.
No, what I mean, the cover too is like so small. But
yeah,
cool.
I don't know the chance got into the draw tonight for this. But anyways, we'll do that a little bit later on. Bosco's in the house. I saw he was laying some foundation for the new Shanks driving range. So that thing's coming to a reality, which is pretty exciting. I think he's hoping to open up this fall. So
beautiful.
I shared it actually on my story and getting lots of buzz from my followers there. So like I probably got like 5 people comment on it just on my story. So it's like people haven't seen it maybe yet or seen the idea yet, but they're pretty blown away by it. It's going to be pretty sick.
It's going to be unreal.
I think.
Yeah, maybe that'll be our segment for this week. Things you love to see. Foundation going in at Shanks driving range and grill, I think it is. Coming 2023, the fall. We got Drake in the house. We got a shout out to him coming later as well.
I met Drake on Thursday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where?
We were on 14 tee box and they were behind us apparently. And we were sitting on the tee box and then all of a sudden I hear this, is that drums? And Drake comes wheeling up, hops out of his cart and came and shook my hand. So it was nice to meet him. Shout out to Drake. Drizzy.
But is that the first time somebody's ever done that? Like to any of us? Well, I don't know. That might be the first ever.
Donnie Lee Hall called me out one time in the wine store too. local celebrity. He just starts hollering. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I turn around and it was Johnny.
What a beauty.
But Drake's
Johnny
missing a
might
jib.
be-
He's just a beautician. Comes out smiling, toothless wonder. I think he said he was 1 or 2 over on Thursday. So hopefully he cleaned it up.
He shot even
Last
this
few
week.
holes in
He
the
just
back.
posted yesterday, I think.
Oh, did he?
There it is. There's a shout out. So we ruined the surprise here, but we did have a shout out tonight for Drake,
Oh,
the Golf Highway on Instagram. He shot his first ever even par round at Wheat City Golf Course, a 71, a clean 71, including 3 bogeys on probably the hardest 3 holes on the course, 13, 14, and 15. So
Dang.
he must have been sitting pretty good going up to that, but he managed to close out with 3 straight pars and get it done. So big shout out to Drake. He hasn't been golfing too long. I had a really good chat with him at the Dolphin Rec tournament a couple months ago, and he's newer to the game, but it seems like he's catching on pretty well.
Damn.
What else? Oh, I was just going to say Donnie Lee Hall might be one of the funniest humans and best human beings on the planet. So the fact that he recognized you in Wine Sense, that's a pretty big compliment, Drum.
I think you're incorrect when you say might be. He is
true.
the funniest guy I've ever met to this day. Holy shit. You didn't put that on the agenda either, Drake showed out, so I wasn't supposed to know. I didn't know.
That's true. That's true. We got Tim in the house tonight. He said his custom nighthead cover can't be beat. That was a pretty cool one. That was his own custom logo that we put on a head cover. Barrett, new Sim 2 driver. He needs a new head cover for it. Looking at the Dynasty Buffalo. This is a pretty famous logo. If you've ever watched curling, this is Dynasty Curling. That's their logo. They got the rights to it, and they let us put it on our head cover. So pretty good stuff. Ches talking about our head covers, the quality of them. Lots of guys asking about it. Good stuff. So we got lots going on here, fellas. Let's do we have any non-golf chat to get things going here?
Yeah. Drums. Hockey season's toast. You watching the game tomorrow?
No, Stanley Cup finals are over. The Leafs are done, so TV's off now for the summer.
It's too bad. It's too bad them and the Oilers lost.
Yeah.
It is, honestly. It's shitty for Canada.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll still be checking in.
You guys, every time you guys talk about hockey, I pretty much just go quiet for minutes at a time. But I did watch the Oilers game there tonight and the Leafs, part of the Leafs series. I've been kind of watching those 2 series. What is happening in the NHL? Like with the Oilers, that was the biggest joke of refereeing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like just nonstop at the end of the game, there was a few calls that didn't get made. There was the Leafs goal that wasn't called a goal. Was that a goal, Drums, or no?
Yeah.
1000% it was.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even a Leafs guy, and that was a goal, but
the NHL draft, the Chicago Blackhawks winning that, like what is going on against Canadian hockey teams? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, like at the end of the Leafs game, there was 4 missed calls on penalties, not to mention even that goal.
On the goal, yeah.
So but I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, it was going both ways into entire series. But, I mean, you can't blame it on that when you guys show up and play like shit for 3 games.
I was just going to say, Florida probably deserved to win that series still.
100%.
Honestly.
Yeah. How good was that Gudis picture of him screaming in Wolf's face at the end of the game?
I was scared.
That was wild.
I was scared of that man from my phone screen.
And
there's people torching him online, like calling him classless and like, that's a rookie goaltender, you piece of shit. Like, shut up. Everybody shut up.
Yeah.
He was in the heat of the moment. They just won the fucking round. Exactly. He's screaming at the guy. It's not like he called him a piece of shit or anything fucking offsides.
And people are saying that that Gudis should have got a penalty there, which I mean, when you slow it down after and watch it, it's pretty easy to see. But when you're watching that play full speed, there's no way you catch that ever.
No, I saw it as soon as it happened.
Did you really?
Yeah, like, well, that's holding, and then snipe. So,
holy.
But I mean,
good on you.
Whatever. You're gonna lose anyway. So, just and it's Dal chirps like the media all the time, and I agree with him because now they flip flop. Going into this or going into the last series, it was if they can't make it through this, fire everybody, get rid of all the players, everything, just start from scratch basically. And now that they're done, it's like, well, the core four, they should probably stick around, and the GM is probably needed, and the coach is probably needed. So it's like I get why everybody hates the Leafs because it's just nonstop bullshit with them. Everywhere you turn, whatever channel you're on or whatever podcast you listen to, they take over the airways. So I can understand people are sick of it. I am too, but they got to gas like 90% of the team, and including GM and coach, in my opinion.
The shitty thing is that there's nothing that the Leafs can do about that either. Like it's not like they're requesting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like they're hiring TSN or Sportsnet.
It's just where they are. Literally where they're located.
They should just, yeah.
Because anywhere else in the world, if you're dog shit for 20 years, they just forget about you and stop talking about you. But it's just amplified more here or in Toronto. It's crazy.
Anyways, let's get to golf.
Speaking of that, did you guys see that Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson have both won majors since Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy last did? I thought that was an interesting tweet.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, hilarious.
It's nuts.
Okay, well let's get to the golf. Before we do that, though, we'll give our weekly mention about the Fountain app. So if you're a listener, if you're not in the chat tonight, or if you listen to this later, we're now available on the Fountain app. So you can listen on there. You can set up a profile. You can start listening to the Kingdom on there, and earn some free Bitcoin for doing so. So you can get, I think it's up to 60 minutes per day. You can earn free Bitcoin just for listening to a friggin' podcast. So let's get to the golf. What's happening with AC? Why did he drop out of the U.S. qualifier?
AC. Let's first touch on Belgium on the weekend. Goes into the weekend 2 under. Man, like I think he was tied 40 or something. Like okay, and then just goes off on the weekend. Shoots -9 on the weekend. Finishes tied 10 again. The guy's hot.
Hot.
Oh, like unreal. Good to see. So I was actually texting him just because when he was going to be home, we got to get those head covers sent out. And also, I asked him how his covers were because he's got that new one coming right now. And I just wanted to see how the other ones were. And he said, he basically said that, I don't want to go into too much detail, but he wasn't feeling too good. So he had to withdraw from the U.S. Open qualifier. I think he got hit with a bout of food poisoning, maybe the night before. So, and he said it's just time for some much, I would say, much deserved rest and time with little one. She was on the road for the last 2 terms. That's pretty sweet, man.
That's wild.
That's unbelievable.
What is she, like 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah, that's so wild. Cool to me. But
you have to factor in the fact that, or you have to assume that part of the reason he's been playing so well is because he has a newborn girl in his life. I think, once you have somebody outside of yourself that matters more than you do, all of a sudden, I think it really puts things into perspective. I do not know this feeling yet, but it has happened historically in golf, especially, but other sports as well. On anything, Drums, you could probably attest to this, but you have to give some credit to his daughter being born and the recent success that he's had from that, I think.
Yeah, like I would assume it's like an amalgamation of everything, right? Like you're comfortable on tour after 3 years now.
Yes, true. Not specifically to that, but it's played a factor, I think.
Right, for sure. No, definitely. I'm sure if you asked him, it would too. I imagine the fact that they're tagging along for these couple weeks here also helps in your comfort level while you're traveling all over the world too. So yeah, no, it's definitely got to play a pretty major part in that. So huge shout out to AC. Keep it up. Is he playing this weekend?
No, he's off till the Canadian Open.
Right. Yeah. So we got 2 weeks till then.
I believe so. Yeah. And then he said there's a couple more tournaments after the Canadian Open, before the British Open, that he could still play in to try to get. I think he has to get up to 20. He said so. He's at 23 right now. to get into the British Open.
Oh,
Was
that's
it
But he
not
got that
last year
exemption.
for the Barbasol? Was that the weekend after the Canadian Open?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
or 2 weeks, weekend after, or 2 weekends after. But either way, I thought it was top 25, but I think it's actually top 25 from the full year. I think maybe. I don't know. There's so many freaking confusing things in that, man.
I
I
think it
think it's
also
top
like
20 has to get into.
I thought it was top 25, but 5 of the top 25 are like automatically in because of their status, like Rory, Rombo, like guys like that. I don't know. I read something weird too. And then
Top 5 not
it's
already
just
exempt within the top 20.
right.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that still it's clear as mud.
Yeah, we're definitely not helping the situation here, fellas.
No, it says.
I'll tell you
it
if he
says
makes it, for
perform.
Christ's sake.
This is what it says. Top finishers in the previous season of selected golf tours. So European Tours Race to Dubai, top 30. PGA Tours FedEx Cup, top 30. Japan Golf Tour, top 2. PGA Tour of Australasia, 1. And Sunshine Tour, 1. And then it says, so that was 5. So these are the 7 exemptions to get you into the British Open. 7 ways to get in. And then it says number 6, performance in the current year on selected golf tours for week 25. European Tour. Top 5 not already exempt within the top 20.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was
Mhm.
top 30 though for them.
Anyways,
Oh, I get it
It
now.
does make sense though.
So the top 5 inside the top 20 if they're not already exempt.
yes.
Who knows?
Hmm.
I figured that after a 9th place finish, you would have snuck into that top 20.
No, he stayed 23 somehow. I didn't understand that.
Maybe there just wasn't. Maybe it wasn't a great field. I don't know. It's insane actually how all that stuff works. So we're not going to try to figure it out. We're going to keep moving on here.
But anyways, big shout out to his last few weeks. It's unreal to see.
I think he's
Yeah,
already
just
made
said
more
that.
money this year than he has.
Yeah.
Or he did last year, right? Yeah. So keep it up.
And hopefully we see him in the British. That would be pretty cool. Where's the British this
He's
year?
second.
Oh, we talked about it last week. Scotland, I think, or Ireland. I don't know.
A lot's happened since then, all right?
Who knows? Royal something. Royal
Yes, it was Royal.
Liverpool. Royal Liverpool.
So England. Well, I don't know. Who knows with those UK countries? I don't even understand them.
We should start a golf podcast.
We should. That'd be awesome. We're so knowledgeable in it. Okay, well,
Tell us about the Insta polls you did.
Liverpool. That's right. Okay, but while we're talking about this, is Liverpool in England? Because I know like the city Liverpool is in England, but is the golf course Liverpool also in England?
I would assume they're at the same
Same
town.
spot? Okay, so we're going to do a PGA Championship preview here. We're going to take our picks and we're going to talk about all the Instagram picks that came in. If you're watching right now live, you can put in the chat who your pick is. We got a wide variety of people here. We got Tony. We got Brooks was the majority winner here. So most people think that Brooks Koepka is going to be the PGA Championship. Overwhelmingly. Cam Smith, Max Homa, Keegan Bradley. Somebody thinks Keegan Bradley is going to pull one out.
Oh my! If he wins, man, I'll never watch golf again.
Didn't he almost win at this course when Duff
Say
Daddy
this
won?
though. Say this. I'll go on record saying this.
Okay.
If Keegan Bradley wins this weekend, I will never watch golf again.
Do you switch to live?
I don't watch golf ever again.
Wow. That's a bold bet. That's almost like
No. That would
statement,
disappoint me
Cotton.
so much that I would never want to watch the golfers who let Keegan Bradley win a major right now play again.
there's been some aggressive bets in history. One was by Biz. I think he was going to do something with his weenie.
He wasn't going to jerk off. So
Prince Albert. No, I thought he was going to get a Prince Albert or something.
Yeah,
Either way.
piercing. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that guy's name? The crazy guy, McAfee, John McAfee. He made a bet that if Bitcoin didn't reach $1 million by like 2020, he was going to chop his
Suicide?
private parts off.
No way.
Yeah. And then he died. So he didn't have to worry about it.
Is that how he died?
He died, yeah.
Did he bleed out from his testes?
Somebody picked Ricky Fowler. That would be pretty
Nice.
cool.
I could be on board for that.
He's trending in the right direction. It's really good to see that, honestly, eh?
Yeah.
He's up on the wall.
Is he? We can't see shit.
Somebody picked Beamer.
See the orange.
Beamer? Rich Beam?
Rich Beam.
Rich Beam.
He can't still be exempt, is he?
Oh, he would have to be, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, that was
How
20
many
years
is it?
ago.
I think, isn't it 25 years?
I don't know.
Probably. Sandy Lyle and that other old boy was playing at the Masters still this year. I don't think Rich is that old. We got a couple from Rombo, for Rombo. Somebody picked Tiger Woods.
Ill-informed.
That's somebody that, that's a pick that I would make. Jay Day, Rory, Matty Fitz.
Jay Day won, man. That's sick.
Unreal.
Yeah, that is sick. It's good for Jay Day.
I think we talked about him
a month
ago, like that he was starting to pick things up and getting his shit back together. He was ranked 178th in the world in September, and he's back up to in the top 20.
He's likable, man. Some people don't like
Very
him because
likable.
he goes behind the ball and closes his eyes, but like, who cares? I don't know. I don't have an issue with that.
I love him.
I'm a fan of him.
We got our buddy Brad Young from out in Ontario, formerly Portage, but he said Scheffler by 3. It's a bold statement.
He's
Man, Scotty Scheffler, if anybody wants to make bets, he's paying plus 100 to finish top 20. So double your money up to bet on him finishing top 20. It seems like a sure bet, yeah. It went from minus 230. It was minus 230 to plus 100.
What happened?
They just do that to entice people to get on there. So then you get on there, and then like I know that when I did that with Tiger, the most I could bet was like $20, I think, was the max bet. So I put on like $100, and then I could only do 20 on that, and then I just pissed away 80 of it. So that's how they get people. And they got me.
We got a new guest in the house, or new commenter anyways. I've never seen the Swing Sculptors in here, but I like the name. I like the logo. And they're asking who's going to do better, Sunjay, Ty Hatton, or Jay Day. All three of our favorites on this podcast.
Yeah, how do they know?
I don't know.
Like, those are all our boys. You're gonna put that up against us here?
I'm taking Ty Hatton out of that threesome.
I'll go Jay Day.
I guess I'll take Sonny.
And finally, the last one here is Cam Young. So those are all the picks from Instagram. Who are you guys taking from for the PGA? Who do you guys got?
Cam Young shaved his beard.
Yeah, he looks weird.
See that?
No, I didn't see
baby faced.
Kind of strange.
So I was toying around with a couple picks actually, but I think I'm gonna land on Big Tone. Everything I've read, everything I see, definitely like a ball striker's course. Iron play is going to be key. I think there's some longer par 4s, par 5s that they're going to have some longer irons into. He's an unreal iron player, and he can still hit it long as well. So I think he might be a good blend. That is my pick. I was also playing around with Jay Day to begin with after last week, and I was thinking he might just ride it into the sunset, but I'm going to go with Big Tone.
Reggie. No.
Roars?
Oh, I thought you were taking Phil.
Oh.
I'm taking Roars.
Roars.
Do you know that when Tiger was watching him, did you guys see that?
A little bit.
He picked up on something he was doing in his swing, so he called him.
Mhm.
Until
I
when
did
I
see
guess
that.
he brought his coach in and they've been working on it.
Yeah, like he came down to Florida, everything. Yeah.
That could be dangerous.
And Tiger was the one that connected Jay Day with the swing coach in the fall and has helped turn him around. So might be Tiger
Tiger's the
Woods might
man.
actually he's the shit. He might actually end up having like a
That guy.
better career as like a coach or teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, like you think about other sports, like Gretzky, he tried to be a coach, complete failure, and a GM too.
Mhm.
He
Like,
was
I don't
too
think he
smart, it
succeeded.
seemed like.
Was
Nobody
it?
can
I
read the
don't know what
game
it
at
was.
his level, right? So how do you explain it to somebody that can't understand your level?
I don't know if that's what it was, or if it just came so easy to him and he couldn't really understand it to other people
But he's good
I
on
think he might
TNT,
have
like
been.
or explain it to
talking.
other people. Yeah, I don't know.
I
But
think
yeah,
he might
I
have been
mean,
pretty hard on the piss for a few years too.
I
Wayner?
think he's still
In the midst of that, Gretzky, I'm pretty sure he's pretty hard on it for a while.
But Tiger, man, like, I don't think that there's anybody more intelligent in the game of golf than Tiger. Not only is he the smartest, but he's the hardest worker. I mean, there's a reason why you're the best ever, right? It's not by accident. So it's good to see, honestly. It's good to see the Tiger still finding a way to be involved. It seems like
Yes.
every time he's been on a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup as a captain, everybody loves him being around there. I mean, for good reason, but
How could you not? Yeah. Who do you got?
I'm taking DJ
Ooh,
actually
that dog.
for my picks for Discord chat. I'm taking either 4 live guys or 3 out of 4 live guys. I'm going hard on live this week.
Well, that's good.
So
Did you see him talking
Thanks
about
for the
how he
donation.
injured his back?
thanks for the donation. Yeah, DJ. Yeah, that
Yeah.
helped my. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much swagger in the live world right now. Like then you compare that to Rory. He just seems like he's so disinterested in everything. Whereas the live
No.
guys, they have so much momentum going right now. They got their swagger back. They got the Masters out
No,
of
they
the way.
don't.
Yes, they do,
What are they have
man.
their swagger about?
Okay, let's sidestep to live for 2 seconds here. How about they have 4 holes left in their tournament, and the CW cuts to fucking Bob's Burgers or something instead?
And Family
Like,
Feud on the other one.
what is going on? You can't even finish a tournament. Wasn't it a 3-way playoff too? Like, oh my god, they
Like
can't
with
even show it.
DJ, Cam Smith, and who?
Taylor Gooch.
Patrick Reed? I don't know.
Does anybody else play on that tour than those two?
Wow. But I was listening to a pod yesterday, and the guy, one of the guys, actually went to the tournament, and he was like, I'm not gonna say it was embarrassing, but it was like the next thing to embarrassing.
What part? What do you mean? Like the
Like
turnout? Or what?
everything, like the course was just like it was in Tulsa, but it wasn't
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
it wasn't even like Tulsa's top 5 courses. It was just like a local
It was in
course.
shit shape, man.
Like he said it was like the weirdest thing he's ever seen. Like he's like, there's college tournaments that are played on better courses than this, but it is what it is.
Oh, come on, Liv.
Yeah, live boys are going off this weekend for sure. Cam,
What do you mean they have swagger? Where from?
it just seems like they got a lot going their way lately. I don't know. Every time I see social media, like Phil's firing back at them. Rory's being really weird about everything now. He's not talking about it anymore. It just seems like they have a lot of momentum going for them right now.
Yeah.
I think that people are finally starting to realize that they're not going anywhere. So,
Oh wait, I'm going to go back at you a bit on this. Like, what about Rory not talking about the live golf anymore gives a little extra pep in the step of Brooks or anybody?
I just feel like that means that Liv is winning to me. Like he knows
Is it,
that
or is it that nobody's asking Rory questions anymore? So he's just, I'm good.
No, I just think that he's realized that he can't fight it. Like he's fighting a giant wave of shit coming at him, and he was thrown out in front of it. And fairly or not, he took that on. And in my opinion, he bitched out from it. And at the same time, I believe that it was the right move for Rory, for sure. I think that it was affecting his game way too much, more than it needed to. And so it was the right move, but I still think that he's backing down because he knows that they're not going anywhere. So what's the point?
I think he backed down more for his own preservation. And part of it'll be because he's not getting anywhere with it. But I think the big thing was his game was affected by how much he had to speak on it for no reason, in my opinion, either. Like nobody has to talk about it. It's
I
there.
think
It exists.
I mean,
Let's
he
quit
probably
fucking
took it
talking about
on, but
every time.
what's that?
Like he's probably just the same as everybody else. He's like, can you guys stop asking me this shit? Because it's been a year and a half of this, and I'm done.
Yeah, I do think that he probably would have signed up for it, but also I'm guessing Big J Monahan sent him out to the front lines. I think, anyways. I don't know the whole story there. That's just my assumption on it. But
okay, you said Jay's name, so it triggered one that I saw today too in my mind. So the AT&T is out as the sponsor of the Byron Nelson, and they were quite far down the road of getting a new sponsor on, who is like a weapons manufacturer. But it turns out, like right before they went to sign the deal to get everything in place, somebody in the PGA learned that the weapons dealer deals to Saudi Arabia, and the next day it was gassed. They were gone. So I thought that was funny.
What a shit show. Like, I don't know. Yeah, let's move on. Cam's asking about the top Canadian pick this week. He's taking Mac Hughes.
There's 5 of them, right?
I thought 6.
6?
I believe 6. But I'm going Big Dick Nick.
Oh.
I'm going the Kngdom if it's a ball strikers tournament.
Yeah, I'd probably
I might actually throw some money on him.
I'm taking Connor too. I think that's a pretty good pick. I also like Taylor Gooch as a pick. Not invited to the U.S. Open.
Between the what?
You tell us.
No, I can't. Mom's listening. The spot between the balls and the asshole. Taylor Gooch.
Yeah, if that doesn't cry out for a beer sponsorship, I don't know what else would. We also have been bashing Bud Light quite a bit, so obviously it's got to love that. We got a bet here from Dustin Dick. He's got $100 on J-Day signing with Liv before next season. Anybody want to take that bet?
I think he means he might have already bet it.
Oh,
means he has $100 on it. I really hope that doesn't happen, man.
I don't see it because he would have already done it, in my opinion.
Or did he see what happened in Australia with Liv Tour and got Woody? Cracked a fat.
Cracked.
That's a shout out to Brendan White. That means getting a boner in Australian, cracking a fat.
That's brilliant.
$20 on Phil pays 4,500. That's a no-brainer almost, I would say.
I've done way worse at $20.
I might as well just light one on fire. Hey, I have a
light a fat.
Oh, he hasn't made the bet. We went to the casino on the weekend on Saturday night.
Yep.
6 of us went. And instead of everybody playing their own games and everybody playing their own spot at the blackjack table, we all put in the money we were going to spend and pooled it into one. And only one guy sat at the blackjack table, so everybody could stand behind him and watch and crush drinks behind him and pool all our money together. Well, we won like $1,200, like,
nice.
Or whatever. I think it was $1,200, but it's just a fun way to do it because then like you don't have the one guy that like loses like 3 hands in a row and he's out, or like going for more money. This way, everybody puts in what they want to lose or can lose, and either you win as a group or you just play and then go home. I think it's a pretty good way to do it with a group of guys at the casino. Honestly, that's the most fun I've had at the casino for a long time.
That's a good way to do with anything, man. Anytime you can win as a team, it's way funner than winning.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It was cool.
And I think that was kind of one of the main selling points for the 88 Sats project was that, yeah, I mean, you could have spent $300 and figured out how to buy Bitcoin yourself, but it wouldn't have been as fun. You probably would have spent it when it hit $600 or whatever it may be. And this way you're winning as a team with everybody else. You get to ride it together, right?
Yep. It's cool. Really cool.
Sorry, I'm just pouring another beer here.
Hmm.
Another Corona. Sorry, obsolete. What else we got, fellas? I'm caught up in the comments here. Where are we at on the agenda? We have an agenda now. Can you believe it?
Were you done with the instant polls?
Yeah, I think that's good enough for tonight. We're already at 45 minutes here, and we got to do segments still. So let's do this draw for the head cover.
Yes, I was just gonna ask. I was gonna ask somebody to update me as the Jays.
How about the little controversy with Aaron Judge?
I don't think
It's weird as hell. But I mean, you can like the Blue Jays pitcher came out today. He's like, yeah, I was probably tipping my pitches.
Tipping signs, yeah. So he said that he would have been tipping them to the first base coach, and then he would have glanced over at him. So I don't think he cheated.
I think that's within the rules, almost, isn't it?
That is cheating. Like that to me, that's cheating, but it's not cheating. That's fair game. If you're tipping your pitches and the guy catches you, yeah, give signs to your batter all day. Why wouldn't you? If you can get ahead without breaking the rules, Kobe.
It was funny when their pitcher got gassed yesterday.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
for the sticky.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
but like he got 9 outs with no hits. Like, there's got to be something. Like, they should add a run.
Call the game.
Something.
Call the game.
It's tainted, man. The whole game's tainted.
100%. Yeah, they'd forfeit the game at that point.
I think so, too. But
baseball.
Okay, get to the contest, drawer.
That's what I do at the Jays games. And, Minnesota.
Home run.
Oh, my God. We went to Boston Pizza and we were watching that Oiler game Friday night, and it was packed in there. But the Boston Pizza in Portage, like we stayed at the Holiday Inn, so we just walked across. And I was sitting there with Jordy and Mertz, and I was pretending to be like an Oiler super fan. Like, you know how people are at the bar and they like just yell stuff all the time, like just yell at the top of their lungs, like shoot it, or like if they have a close chance. Like I was just like screaming in the bar, and this other guy was like being dead serious, like yelling the exact same shit. Oh, I was laughing so hard, man. Like, how do people do that in public? Whatever.
I don't know.
We don't need to go into
It's not in me at all.
It's so funny, man. It just kills me.
Have you ever been to a boxing event or like a fighting event and there's people yelling from the crowd like what to do to the boxers? That's crazy.
Funny.
Yeah, super weird.
Oh, it's insane.
And then like shadow boxing in the stands, like, come on.
It was nuts, man. There was one fan that was on this side of the ring, and there was another fan on this side of the ring. And one guy would yell something, and then the other guy would say the exact same thing, back and forth, and it got super awkward because the guy just stopped saying stuff because the other guy was just repeating exactly what he said.
Were they both cheering for the same guy, though?
Well, yeah, they were saying the exact same stuff. It was just really awkward,
so
though,
weird.
because... Okay, so this is what we did for the last contest, and it actually worked really well. So this is how it's going to work. Everybody in the chat, I hope you're ready to participate in this for a brief second. We just need you to say a number. But Drums, I want you to write down a number between 1 and 5. And in the chat here, we got any number between 1 and 45. So you can type in a number. We got 4. Dasha says 4. That's the only one so far. We got Daniel says 3. Any number between 1 and 45, not between 1 and 5. 1 and 45, chat. Okay, so we got one more coming here, and the next one is going to be the number. Oh, Sean and Ches both said 21, but it's 23. So let's bring this up here. Let's see who number 23 is.
Did Drums write his number?
Oh, no, sorry, Drums. That's not the right winner. What did you write, Drums? I messed that up.
3.
So 44. Sorry, Ben, you almost won.
I was wondering what you were up to.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah,
me
Comment,
too.
sorry.
that's my bad. So 44. Here we go. Oh, Daniel, Sean, Riley Parker,
Hey,
the winner of the nicest head cover in the history of head covers. Riley Parker, congrats. Big win. I believe that's Glenn Parker's son, right?
Yeah.
Reggie, do you know him? Or Drums?
Yeah.
And Glenn Parker also won one of our Tamarack head covers last year. I think he was the champion medalist for the weekend.
Nice.
So he got a fresh King head cover. Thanks everybody for yeah, lots was going on there. Thanks everybody for being part of the contest there. I think that's the fairest way to do it. So there's no rigging involved here. And congrats to Riley Parker, brand new head cover. So that's good. He's in Brandon too.
Flyers
So
fan.
what's that?
According to Instagram. He's a Flyers fan according to Instagram.
Oh, perfect.
Good on him.
Good on him. We don't have to even pay for shipping either. So that's what we hope for here. Okay, let's get to Fix Your Divots, Reggie. The Prairie Scratch Tour was at Steinbach on the weekend.
Yep.
Steinbach Flying. You guys ever played that course before?
No, you?
Negative.
No.
You're gonna find out
fly
lots
into it?
about me that I haven't played a whole lot of courses. Kind of embarrassing.
Oh,
actually.
speaking of that. Yeah. I was gonna say, Sasha said she tossed a number before we gave directions. She had 4 in there before we even said to do it. So I was wondering what was happening there. Sick win, nice track, beauty cover. Steinbach, yeah. Back to that though, because I saw Patty golfs on Instagram. Did you see that, Reggie?
What's that?
Did you see Patty's story on Instagram yesterday? That picture that he had made up?
No.
I don't know where the company's from, but they did like a map of, in this case, it was a map of Ireland, the whole island of Ireland. And they had a number at every different course on the island. And it had like a list on one side, list on the other side. And then as he plays those courses, you check them off.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that'd be really cool to get one of like either the prairies or like for Prairie Golf Co. They could do all 3 provinces in there, whatever, something like that. But in our case, Manitoba, you could put all the courses on there. And then every time you play a course, you check it off.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
Awesome.
His account
Like
is
an ad
Patty.
bank calendar?
What's that? Exactly.
Like an ad bank calendar?
Oh, you're saying Patty.
Patty, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like Patty, like Patty Law.
No, Paddy. I think it's golfs, isn't it? Patty
I
Golf.
miss that guy. I'd like to have a chat with him
Yeah.
again one of these
We
days.
should get him on the pod, man. He was an awesome guest.
He's
Hey,
a beauty.
he was
Found
early.
those- Oh, Dusty's a little behind. All good.
Ches is usually quite behind too.
Reichman, before I read this, Rickman. Riley Parker and I collided in a Westman winter hockey game. He broke his shoulder. I broke my ankle. Oh, that's good stuff. Okay. Anyways, let's get to the Fix or Divot segment.
Yeah, and we'll leave Sean up here because yeah, go ahead, Reggie.
As always, this week's Fix or Divot segment is brought to you by the Prairie Scratch Tour. Prairie Scratch Tour is created by the players for the players. The mission over at Prairie Scratch Tour is to provide competitive, high-level, and above all else, fun golf tournaments. Which, by the looks of the leaderboard, they had the competitive
Cream of the crop.
aspect of that checked off. Holy shit, what a loaded field. Unbelievable on the weekend. I'm just going to recap that quick, actually.
Sure.
they had 37 players in the regular pool and 18 guys in the senior. The first place payout in the regular pool was $1,000, and in the senior was $500. Taking home the regular was. I always get so scared to say this name. I'm just gonna say Kuntz. I feel like if we're covering Manitoba golf, which we do on this podcast, I feel like we're gonna have to say this name a whole shitload in the next little while, because it seems like every time you see his name, he's just absolutely torching courses. So Braxton Kuntz finished the weekend at -9, 4 strokes ahead of Curtis Markison, who -5. I mean, that's no slouch either. That's a hell of a weekend as well. That's good golf, man. Winning the senior division was David Kloak from Windsor Golf Club. Looks like he tied, so there must have been a playoff hole. He beat Gord Hudson, I'm guessing, on a playoff hole, because I don't think they would just go a count back for this weekend. So it's tough to say, but I would guess it would be in a playoff hole. Looks like it was a great success. I mean, anytime you can get 55 guys in a tournament, pretty good, and 55 highly competitive golfers in a tournament. That's impressive. If you'd like to learn more information about the Prairie Scratch Tour, head over to their website at prairiescratchtour.ca. They have a great website with tons of information on the schedule, membership benefits, and how to register for the upcoming events. Also, make sure to follow their Instagram account, Prairie Scratch Tour, for updates, news, and other announcements. They actually had the link to the leaderboard this weekend, so I was checking it out. It was a live leaderboard, which is actually pretty sick to see. Yeah, it was cool to see. So, yeah, check out Prairie Scratch Tour. They're doing some unreal things there. Super competitive field, and we look forward to tracking the rest of the events.
That's a really good turnout for the first event of the year, mid-May in Manitoba. Hardly anybody's played much golf here, so to get that many guys out there in a competitive event, that's pretty good, I think. So big shout out to those guys. If I could make one request from Jordy and the Prairie Scratch Tour, I would like to see more on-course video. I love following that on Instagram whenever they have updates of putts, of people playing, what scores they're at. I enjoy that. So if there anything, I mean, even if I'm not right up to date, I still like watching that kind of stuff, especially if it's people that you know. Dad's asking what the cost of a sponsorship is. Maybe we'll get a sponsor from Royal LePage, Ron Headley. The guy's been busy. He's been busier than he wanted to, I think, in his retirement career as a realtor, but seems to enjoy it. He's doing really well at it. So the cost, Dad, depends on a few different factors. So it's hard to say on here, but very reasonable, I think, is the underlying premise there. So depends who your sons are. Depends.
I'm saying double for him.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's get to the fixture divot segment, brought to you by Prairie Scratch, Drummy.
This segment's been hot. Actually, we had a lot of good feedback on this. It's something that we're going to start doing more and more on the show and on the socials. I think we're going to do a post every week talking about the pet peeve here. So take her away, Drummy. Who we got this week, and what is
it? This week comes. Jesus. This week the fixture divot segment comes from Sean. Do we decide is it Rickman?
Yep.
Okay. Sean, don't call me Reichman, Rickman. Courses who don't have colored flags indicating the pin locations. Pet peeve.
Agreed.
I agree with that one wholeheartedly. And it got me thinking. I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. Does Wheat City have different pins? I know they used to. Yeah. I just wanted to confirm that. But yeah. It is a pain in the ass. I was without my rangefinder last week, so I was completely lost. I left it on the cart the first week, so I gotta staple that thing to my leg or something. But it's a huge thing if you, even just chipping, knowing if it's at the back where if you can't actually see like the slope of the green, anything like that. So yeah, it's a big pet peeve on mine as well. So I agree with Sean here.
One follow-up on that. I don't like if you do the, say, red, white, and blue flags, they're supposed to be alternated in that all throughout the course. And I hate when courses go like back-to-back blues or back-to-back whites, because they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be like a all the way through the course. I think, from my understanding, anyways, I think it's supposed to be rotation all the way through the course.
I think you made that up.
No,
No, it should be rotation.
these guys will back me up in the chat.
Should have like 3 of each on each 9.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Wheat City might not have white pins now that I think about it. White flags.
Yellow, maybe. Yellow could be middle.
They have red for sure. They have blue for sure. I do not know if they have white on them.
I can't think of it now.
Relevant. I agree with that. I think it just adds a lot to the course, and I don't think it's that big of a
Investment.
task. Yeah.
No, exactly.
But I do know that there has been times, like at Dauphin Lake, they're all the same.
Racist.
Why racist?
Because they don't have whites.
white flags.
Oh. Dauphin doesn't have them because they're sponsored by somebody.
Well, so what?
I know. I think they wanted their color on the flags or something. I really don't know. So they don't have them there right now. They might have changed
Money talks,
this year.
baby. Money talks. We got a correction from the chat. Roscoe says they do have white flags. So I don't know. I also have a rangefinder, so I don't pay too close attention to that. I honestly could only tell you from my memory of my 2 rounds this year in the last 6 months that I've only seen red and blue flags. So maybe just the rounds I played that didn't have white out. We'll go with that.
GP 1000% has.
So
I know that.
Drums, you said that your rangefinder was out of commission. So was mine. And I went to do it the second hole last week. No battery. So first part of that is make sure at the end of the year, I think you should take your battery out of there because I'm guessing it drains over the winter time. So I'll have to put that.
Because Farnsey had the same problem. Like I left mine at the course, so I thought I lost it. So it was good to find it at least. But the battery was dead, and then Farnsey couldn't figure his out, and same thing. The battery was dead on his.
So it must be over the winter they drain, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll maybe put that as a reminder for post golf season reminders is take your batteries out of your rangefinders, folks.
I actually have a really good pro tip here about the batteries.
Okay.
If you buy those batteries in the store or you get stuck at a golf course, they got you by the nuts, and they charge like $20 for one battery. You can get them for like $13 for a 2-pack on Amazon. So I always buy. They don't last as long, but if you buy the 2-pack, then you always have an extra in your bag. And when you use that one,
that's exactly what happened to me.
Order another one.
I reached into one of my pockets and I felt something in there, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is the other the battery for this 2-pack." And I pulled it out, put it in the rangefinder, boom. So 2-packs are the key.
2-packs are the key.
Support your local businesses. Prairie Battery in Brandon. They probably sell 2-packs, but they're $30.
Probably $30 there. Support your pocket, baby, for stuff like that.
Ches makes a good point here. No rangefinder, middle of the green. That's what we talked about on last episode. Dad says sometimes the greens aren't big enough to matter. Also true. And some courses, Josh Bevan's in the house. Some courses put a mini flag on the flag stick if they're the same color bottom. Do you guys understand that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They put the flag like Rossman does with those little balls that they have. If the pin's at the back in Rossman, then the ball's at the top. But if the pin's in the middle, they put it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Come on.
I didn't know that.
That's what it's for.
So they move that rubber thing up and down.
Yeah, and then he's talking like they would have a flag that slides up and down, a little piece of rubber. They just slide that up and down, and that's where the flag is on the green.
Wow. What age were you when you learned that? 34.
Come on, you guys. You didn't know that?
No idea.
I thought that was for rangefinders to like help the reflection or whatever. Pick it up.
Just never
I guess
thought
it
of
wouldn't make sense that there's a fucking wiffle ball on there, though. I don't know how that would help.
Oh, anyways. Well, this is why we talk about stuff like this on here. There's probably a few guys in the chat that didn't know that either.
I bet you informed a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good segment of Fix Your Divots, folks. So if you have any pet peeves that you would like to share with us, we're actually going to be sending some Bitcoin to Sean Rickman for his contribution to the show tonight. It ain't much, but it could be worth something someday. So he's getting some Bitcoin. And if we end up reading your pet peeve as Fix Your Divot, you'll also get some. So send us a message on Instagram. Send us an email, kinggolfco@gmail.com. You know how to find us. And while I'm talking here, everybody watching right now, if you're in the house live, make sure to press the like button. No idea if it does anything, but it's free to do and it helps the boys out. So let's do segments tonight. Who wants to start? Drums? Reggie?
Can do.
Drums, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So a couple things for you boys to check out. The first one I got on my list that is a new podcast that I listened to a couple days ago. The Smiley Kaufman podcast, The Smiley Show. First guest on was JT, and it's. I mean, we've kind of watched those guys grow up together, right? So they had a good rapport with each other. They got to share quite a few good stories from growing up to their shenanigans. I think it was 2016, 2017 when they were on Snapchat blowing up there with the boys' vacation that they were on. And then he had a good story of a President's Cup. He was on a tee box and he was paired with Tiger. JT was. He was paired with Tiger. And he couldn't figure out how he wanted to shape the shot because there was a tree that was kind of in his way. So he calls Tiger over, and Tiger just says, "What?" He says, "Well, help me out here. Like, what should I do? Where do you want to be? Just put me in the fucking fairway." And then walked away from him. And then another good story that the boys were actually, they did another trip this year. The same crew, so it was like a reunion. But the boys said it was a little tamer. They were mostly in bed by 9 p.m. until they ran into Sidney Crosby and the Pens at a restaurant.
No way.
They got in, yeah. So they got into some shenanigans that night. The boys hooked up with the Pens and got to some heavy drinking. They said so. Some good stories there. The same place that they were, Chambers Bay or something like that.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. I know Jor's not a big JT fan, but I think a podcast like this lets you like him a little bit better just to see like the dude, not like the presentable one on screen all the time. You just kind of get him chopping it up with one of his best buddies. It's a good show. And I really like Smiley as a commentator because he is kind of that younger generation. He's younger than we are, right? And his career has kind of already passed, and he's made a quick transition into the broadcasting game. So that's one that I'll probably keep up with. If it's more interviews, definitely.
Man,
and then
good
the
on him,
was,
to take that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not that he's still hot, but I was going to say Wildfire Poker's still hot, but I mean, he's still
a name.
Like, he's still relevant, right?
Yep.
Sure, he was like their buddy, but like still their buddy, and he still has that going for him.
He had a decent career. Like, it wasn't long, but it's not like he was a trash player
he was hot for a long time, right?
Yeah. And then the other one that everybody make sure you check out, especially for the Tiger fans, the TaylorMade Range Session on YouTube. I think it's like a 40-minute video. It's got Tiger, Rory, Colin Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood, and Scotty, I think. And they're just on the range hitting all the new TaylorMade clubs and just kind of bullshitting as they talk. But it's really more focused around the boys coming and seeing what Tiger has to say. So it's a good watch too. And that one's on YouTube, TaylorMade's YouTube. TaylorMade's fucking killing it, as we always say.
They really
do you
are.
guys take divots?
Is that where that Scotty clip came from? Asking Tiger about his divots? Oh, I was wondering. Yeah. So that must have been recorded before the Masters then?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That makes a lot more sense then. Do
I take divots?
Yes.
Sometimes.
A lot less than I did though before, for sure.
If I was at the range and I didn't hit any wedges, like none of my like 50, 54, 58, like you wouldn't even know I was there. Honestly, like I don't know if I try really hard, I could take a divot, but
you trying to be Tiger?
No, I don't know. I just never have taken divots. No, I never have taken.
I'm with Josh here too. I'm pretty sure he was just fucking with Scotty.
That seems like something he would do.
It does.
He's been in that kind of mood for the last couple of years, man. Like, because everybody's so used to him being serious, they take him seriously.
Mhm.
But he's really changed his
tune.
Yeah, changed his tune. It's good to see.
Yeah, because even there's one where he's him and Morikawa are talking, and he's like, Jesus Christ, I'm spacing on the kid's name, Charlie. Charlie almost beat me the other day, and Colin's like, oh shit, and he's like, his goal is to beat me by the time he's 14. Then he just turns around, good luck. It's another shot. Like, he's just a beauty.
All-time comment here from Bryce. He said, "Oh, I'm Reg. I'm better than Tiger."
Yeah, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying I don't take divots. I never have. And I've always thought it was so weird. And Tiger probably does take divots. I can't take divots even if I want to. It's so strange.
Let's
like
revisit
you see, guys.
this.
Yeah, but I
thought this was the case too.
Yeah, I'm with Pumpkin here.
Pumpkin swag, not pumpkin. You got to say the whole thing, Drums. It's TJ. And I'm with TJ here as well. I think that in the case of Rossman Lake, that's why the wiffle balls are there.
But I think they still move up and down.
I've never seen them
move. Could be dual purpose.
Well, I've moved them, like, as you go to put the pin back in, it slides up. So I fucked the next guy many a time.
But they do have rubber stoppers there. So it could be used for that. I don't know if they are in this case. Maybe, as Josh said, maybe flags are specifically for that. But I think at Rossman Lake, they are for people not slamming them on the greens.
I'll have to ask Dwayne. We'll get Dwayne's opinion.
We'll get Dwayne's opinion for sure. We got Roscoe in the chat. He said, go find the interview with Darren Clark about Tiger's warm-up one tournament. So he's saying it's legit about the divots.
Yeah. All right.
We got to trust Roscoe here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Reggie, I'll throw my segment in for tonight. And the last couple weeks, I've been focused heavily on golf, actually. I think it's the perfect time to be talking about while we're trying to get into good habits for the year. And I figured I would give a shout out to a couple people tonight and an Instagram account. So our buddy Ches, always in the chat, he's talked about this before. Our buddy Drake in the chat, his golf account today was talking about this on Instagram. And I watched the video. The video is from an account called Golf Sidekick. And the idea here, and Ches has been talking about this for a long time, but Ches he talked about the batter's box. That's what Ches was talking about. But this account was talking about the decision box and the thinking box. Or execution box. But anyways, it basically says that there's a decision line behind the ball, like 3 or 4 feet behind the ball. And so you do all your thinking behind that line, an imaginary line, obviously. But as soon as you cross that decision line, there's no more thinking involved. So you have two thoughts. Either you focus on the target or you focus on the execution and committing to the shot. And so essentially, when you're standing behind the ball before you hit the shot, that's when you do all your thinking about whatever you have in your mind. You get it all out at that point. And then 3 or 4 feet behind the ball, there's an invisible decision line. And once you cross that, there's no more thinking. It's only pick a target, focus on the target, and focus on the execution and commitment of the shot. That's it. You can't think about anything else. If anything pops into your mind, you back off, restart, cross the decision line again, and go about it that way. And so I thought that was really cool, a really cool visualization of things. Obviously, you're not going to like draw out a box or in a line there, but I think it's just a really good way to think about things. And similar to your 10-yard rule, Reggie, where once you get past 10 yards, you don't think about the shot anymore. You can be as mad as you want, but after you cross that line, there's no more thinking about it. I think this is a really good way to visualize standing over the shot and committing to it and focusing on the target. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So that's my stroke saver. Big shout out to Ches for kind of getting that into my brain before, to Drake for sharing that on Instagram. And the golf account is the golf sidekick. So you can go and watch that video. He does a really good job explaining it. Mine is kind of on the spot here live, but I thought it was a really good tip for people. So
yeah, I agree. That's unreal. Actually, I never thought about doing that because it's so uncomfortable when you're standing over the ball thinking about it.
Exactly. I think that's a main
change your mind. Like, why am I hitting this? Is this the right club? But then you hit a whatever shot, like you always call it, sure.
Anyways,
shot.
Anyways,
yeah, just hit it, get it over with, because you don't want to hold the group up, and whatever. I like that a lot. Probably, yeah. If I can never get out on the course, I'll put it into effect. But
so Ches said that's why J Day closes his eyes behind the ball
to visualize,
to visualize and to I do really like the commitment part, because Reggie, you've talked about that for a lot of times on the Stroke Saver. I thought this was a really good way to actually put it into practice and a good way to think about it. So once you cross that line, done thinking. Just got to commit to it.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
So what's the Stroke Saver tonight, Reggie?
So it's actually a tip from Phil. It's kind of it puts all the chipping stuff that I've always wanted to say into like 3 really easy things.
Phil Mickelson?
Yeah.
He's had some legit tips on Instagram.
He's the best chipper in the world. Like, there's no doubt about that. So if he's giving a chipping tip, and I would say that's my strong point too, is chipping. I just didn't really know how to put this into words, and I might do it a little whatever more than I should. But so his tips were three things to do when you're chipping. I told who the hell did I tell this to the other day? Just like it's so easy to do it. It'll help so much with chipping. But his first thing, your weight should always be on your front foot when you're chipping. Always.
Okay. That's an easy one.
Yes, but always. It should never be on your back foot, because then you're coming up on it. It should always be on your front foot planted like that. Second one.
When you come up on it, what happens, Reggie?
Well, Scully, yeah. Or everything's just off because you're on your back foot and all your weight's off. If you're on your front foot, everything's always moving towards the target because you're on your front foot. Right. And then if you want to hit a high shot, same thing, the weight's on your front foot, but the ball should be in the front of your stance. Then it's the same stuff. And if you want to hit a low spinner or bump and run, it should be on your back foot. It should never be, you should never have your weight on your back foot when you're chipping, and the ball should never, ever be in the middle of your stance when you're chipping. If you want to hit a high shot, put it at the front. If you want to hit a low spinner or bump and run, it should be in the back. And if you do that, man, honest to God, it's like it'll change your chipping forever. Because that's one of the biggest things that people do. They're always on their back foot leaning, and then they're chipping like that, or else the ball's in the middle and there's no control over anything. You kind of just hit that like mid bullet at the green, or you try to hit it high from the middle and you try to lift it. If it's at the front, you just take a normal shot and let the loft do the trick. But I thought that was really good from Phil. I'll find the video tonight and post it on the King account or on the podcast, whichever one. But I'll get it posted out there. It's really cool. But that's the gist of it. I thought that was a really good way to put it into words, and pretty easy stuff to remember when you're out there. You're not thinking of doing 10 different things. It's just get your weight on your front foot. If you want to hit a high one, put it at the front. Low one, put it at the back. And just start there, and then you can get the feel from there. But
so can you repeat those again? Because I thought there was 3 of them.
Well, just the weight on the front foot.
Yep.
If you want to hit a high one, put the ball in the front of your stance. If you want to hit a low one, put it in the back.
Oh, that's it.
And just never have it in the middle of your stance.
That is really easy.
Yeah. And that's what I would say I've been doing that for 10 years or more, but I never really realized that. I don't know that I do it. Maybe
just, not to sound like a dink or anything here, but I don't see a lot of people doing that at any level, in men's night, in tournaments. I just don't see that from people where they have you can tell that their weight's on their front foot.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys are right in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that is or what the reasoning is, but that's interesting. I really like that one, Reggie. I think that's a pretty easy one to put into practice, and I think that simple is always good. So that was a good one,
Mm-hmm.
Reggie.
Josh, oh no.
What's Ches talking about here? No insider trading.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably something about Phil.
Oh, before we go, I want to throw this out to the chat because there was we put something out on Instagram yesterday. Oh, now of course it's gone. Do you guys remember what it was? Miscounter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
So every week we're going to start doing this again. We're going to do some polls every Tuesday. We're going to ask if there's any topics we should be talking about. But yesterday we did this. We got a few responses, and one of them was from Drake for his even par, and the other one was from a guy, and he said, talk about the miss counter, MISS space counter. And none of us know what that means. We Googled it. Does anybody in the chat know what the miss counter means or how it relates to golf or anything for that matter?
Oh, is that like his pet peeve?
No.
The guy that doesn't count correctly?
Oh, maybe. But it was like in a thing for what should we talk about tomorrow? Maybe you're right, Drums, because I don't know. Maybe he did think that was so cheaters he means.
Yeah, the miscounters.
That makes sense. Dusty said the new burner mini drivers seem like a pretty sweet club. Can be multi-purpose. What does that mean? Like off the DOD?
I think so, yeah.
Reggie, I went DOD like 4 or 5 times last week at men's night.
Really?
What holes?
Off the tee box.
What? Mac? Are you Mac? Are you Mac Bushi?
No, I just started doing it and I liked it, and then I just kept doing it.
That's it. Honestly, and that's it. Have I talked about that on the podcast before about how if you're like struggling big time with your tempo with your driver, like go to the range and hit him off the deck, and you have to have like good tempo to hit them good.
Save that for the.
Yeah, it works. Magic.
Save that for a saber.
So I hit it on. I only used the tee like twice the whole round off on the.
That's wild.
The driver.
That is
wild.
So weird.
I mean, they were actually all in the fairway. That's the crazy part. They were a nice fade. They didn't go quite as far as with the tee, but into the wind, I think they're a pretty good play. So I thought you guys would be impressed with that. So Josh says, I do all that, Reggie, and I still suck at chipping. What do I do next? And Reggie's gone.
Slink out just like he did. Little weasel.
Weasel. Have you watched any of the DOD King on Instagram, CVA Golf? He calls everybody weasels.
Oh, really?
I think he's got a pretty bright future ahead of himself. Have you seen him, Reggie?
Who?
The DOD King on Instagram?
No.
CVA Golfs?
No.
He doesn't use a tee. He says the tees are cheating. So that's actually
I might have seen him.
What started with this, because we were talking about it on the third hole. Clouds was talking about it. And then on we're talking about it on hole 4. On hole 5, I hit it off the deck just for shits and gigs, and it worked well. So then I hit it for the rest of the round. But the DOD King on Instagram he's funny, man. He's gonna be he's legit, I think.
Did you top any or no?
Nope.
Did you skinny block any?
Nope.
You hit them all good.
Yep.
Holy tempo town, you must have been buzzing.
Well, no, I wasn't really. That's a shitty. And it actually threw my when I did try to tee it up after that, it wasn't good.
Gotcha.
Because it's much different hitting off a tee than off the ground. One, you're hitting down on it kind of, and one you're hitting up on it almost.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Are you taking divvies out?
Nope.
All
I
right.
have Moose, Jaden, and Clouds to attest to it. I mean, I was 30 yards behind Moose on some of the drives, so you lose distance, but all down the fairway. So it was good. It was kind of cool.
Take that. All right.
So let's get out of here, fellas. That was a good show tonight. All golf, not much bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the fix your divot segment. Shout out to Bryce for that idea. I think he's still in the chat tonight, so we'll keep doing that. We'll keep going, keep pushing forward here. And we were supposed to have a guest this week, but he bailed. He was golfing today instead. We can't blame him.
Nope.
But we got him penciled in for
He has been
May 31st.
golfing.
That boy's golfing.
Oof. Doggy.
So next week
All
we'll
right.
do another. Enjoy the PGA, everybody, this weekend.
Yep.
Are you guys gonna be watching? Gonna have a chance to? It's supposed to be
Much
nice
as possible. It's supposed to be nice as hell. I think we're going to the lake this weekend, so might be glued to the phone more than a TV, but we'll try to catch
I'll
it.
probably be watching Thursday, Friday, but that's it probably for me.
Who's the notable groupings tomorrow, Drums? Just before we go here.
2 seconds. I had it up. Okay, so we got Scotty Brooks and Gary Woodland. Rory, JT, and Colin.
What time are they
Shane
off?
Lowry. I don't have times. Sorry.
It's in New York, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're
that's
ahead of us?
an hour or 2 hours, I believe. Shane Lowry, Jordan Spieth, and Vic. I got Fitz, Dog, Cam Smith, and Rombo. Tommy, Cam Young, and Hideki. Adam Scott, Max, and Big Tone. Xander, Tyrell, No Hat On, and DJ are some of the
Ooh,
That's
that's a
more
good
notable.
group.
Yeah, those are the notables, anyways.
Who's
Who's
Phil
the group?
golfing with?
I can't remember.
I thought he
looked it
was
up.
with Ricky and Cantley.
I don't think so. I think he's with kind of some lesser knowns.
No, that's in the Masters. He was with like Tom Hoagie. And then they bumped him up to like Ricky and Cantley this time.
Oh,
So, anyways, we'll enjoy it. We'll have a good weekend of golf. It sounds like Oak Hill is going to be miserable.
chilly. A little
And
chilly.
that's what we like to see. Like when the boys are struggling out there.
Okay, who did you say Cantley was with?
Phil, I thought.
Phil,
Phil
I
and
don't think he
Ricky.
is, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we're
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, boys.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us this week. We will see you next week for the recap. And, that's it. We're out. Love you, boys. Peace.
Love you, fellas.
See you, boys.
See you, boys.